Well, hey there, guys. Welcome to welcome back to, or if you're new to the channel, welcome to Larry's House of Hockey. Just got home from work, literally probably 15 minutes ago, and I'm currently done with work now until basically the new year. So hopefully during that time I'll have a little more time to focus on the channel here, which I have to discuss a little something here. Now, I mean, I've been doing the power rankings now for I think what was this last week? Week 10. And I will admit I did make a little error because Lord knows I've been hearing about it in the comment section about the fact that I had Vancouver at 10 and Florida at 9. And looking back on it, yes, I should have flip-flopped them. Yes, Florida should have probably been at 10. Vancouver should have been at 9 because holy cow, everybody's been saying that. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. How could you have Vancouver behind Florida? Well, it's not an exact science. We all make mistakes. And, they had very similar records through the previous 10 games. Florida won their last game, Vancouver didn't. And I mean there were factors as to why I did it. But looking back on it, yeah, I probably should have had Vancouver ahead of Florida. Because Vancouver didn't lose a game in regulation during that week while Florida ended up losing 2. Because Florida went, I believe, 2-2 on the week, while Vancouver went 2-1. So yeah, I should have probably put Vancouver ahead of them because of that. But I mixed them up. I'm sorry. I'm not perfect. Power rankings aren't perfect. It's not an exact science, really. Do I think I will have Vancouver ahead of Florida this next week? Probably. I most likely will. But, again, it's interesting that, most of my other rankings everybody was good with. It was just those two teams. That's what everybody keeps saying. How could you put Florida ahead of Vancouver? We don't none of the rankings are perfect. And yeah, I should have had Vancouver ahead of Florida. That I go and I look back on it, yeah, I should have had that. I should have had those flipped around. But, I didn't. I made one mistake on power rankings. Nobody's perfect. Stuff happens, But, and, some people, oh, he doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know how to rank these. He doesn't know how to rank the teams. I try to follow the games as much as I can. Because, during the week, I'm not able to follow them as much as I would like to because, I have a job outside, and so I'm not able to watch all the games. I try to listen to them as much as I can. Most of the time, the games that I'm able to get on, around here are, of course, Minnesota Wild games. I'm not able to get games like some of the games that were on tonight, like with Edmonton, New Jersey, Vancouver, Dallas. I'm not able to get those games. Especially driving around in a car. But, I look at I look at the scores, I try to see, okay, did they win in regulation? Did they win in a shootout? Did they win in overtime? How did they do it? Did they lose in regulation? I try to look at all those and I try to put all those factors into the rankings, because we're talking Christmas. We're coming up on Christmas right now. There shouldn't be any of these wicked movements. We've had some, but I've tried to I've tried to make sure you don't have any of these wicked movements necessarily up or down, because I mean like I said, we're almost to the end of the calendar year. You shouldn't be seeing, teams moving up and moving up 7, 8, 9 spots, or teams moving down 7, 8, 9, 10 spots. But you're still going to see that from now and then, and you got a better chance at a team moving up a lot of spots when you're down in the bottom row than you are toward the top. Now, putting Vancouver at 10 and Florida at 9, yeah, okay. I screwed those two up. Sorry, stuff happens. But I'm going to keep doing them. And for people who think that, power ranking, doing these power rankings are easy. Yeah, it's easy to figure out the top 5. It's easy to do the top 5 or the bottom 5. I mean, I could do power rankings and do the top 5 or bottom 5 every week. Why? Because those are basically the same teams. We know who's going to be in the bottom 5 basically every week, and we know who's in the top 5 basically every week. It's doing everything in between. That's where the legwork comes in. That's where you actually got to look at stuff. You got to pay attention. And, okay, I mixed around 2 teams. It happens, Will it probably happen again? Probably. It probably will happen again because it happens. But wow, yeah. People, I don't know what you don't know what you're doing. How dare you have Vancouver at 10 and Florida at 9? Oh, I don't know. Is it nice to see Vancouver doing what they're doing? Yeah. And if they keep doing what they're doing this week, they might be in the top row. Which, speaking of, I'm going to go check out what their current record is this week anyway. Because I'm thinking they probably will be in the top row. Or at least be close to the top row. And we'll see how many games they have left this week. So Vancouver has, as soon as it loads up here, and there we go. Okay, so yeah, Vancouver, so far this week, they have one more game this week. Vancouver on this week is 2-0-1. They won the first 2 games of the week, then they lost in overtime to Dallas tonight. So they're 2-0-1 on the week. Now, if they're able to get a win over San Jose on Saturday, yeah, they're most likely going to be in the top row. We'll have to see what some of the other teams have done, though, because some of these other teams are doing pretty well too. Now let's look at Florida's, just to kind of do a comparison here. Florida's record this week. Yeah, Florida's definitely going to drop. Vancouver will most likely be ahead of Florida because Florida's 0-2 this week. So, Vancouver will move ahead of Florida this week. Basically, and it really probably won't really much matter whether or not Vancouver loses the next game or not, and if Florida wins, because even if Florida wins, they'll be 1-2 on the week, and Vancouver right now is 2-0-1. So Vancouver's going to be ahead of Florida this week. So hopefully that'll make some of y'all happy. That Florida will be ahead of Vancouver. Or Vancouver will be ahead of Florida. Florida most likely will drop some. Vancouver will probably move up some. So, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's pretty sure that's going to end up happening. So hopefully, that will appease some of you. And sorry, I'm human. I'm never gonna do a perfect power ranking. There is no such thing as perfect power rankings. So, I made one little mix up. Sorry. Just try to do better this upcoming Saturday. Just do the best I can. And if people are gonna go and complain that, well, he doesn't really know what he's doing, and well, I'm not gonna watch, if he can't figure this out, I'm not gonna watch. Well, then I'm not making you watch. I just do the best I can. I try to do the best I can and try to rank these teams, and it's not exactly the easiest thing to do. It's easy to do the top 5 or the bottom 5. It's everything else in between. To me, if I just did a top 5 or a bottom 5, to me, that's not fun. That's not, it's almost too easy to do just a top 5 or a bottom 5. Because, again, we basically know what the bottom 5 are going to be. Bottom 5, Anaheim, Chicago, Vancouver, Columbus, Buffalo, basically. Top 5, LA, Boston, Winnipeg, New York, Vegas. Well, how fun is that? It's figuring out everything in between. It's trying to do the whole league and do a power ranking of all 32 teams. That's where it's fun. That's where it's fun, and that's where it's fun to go and look and try to figure out, okay, where do I put this team? Where do I put this team? And it just happened that I mixed 2 teams up. It happens. So, sue me, I guess. but I guess I try to do better. I try to do the best I can, and again, I'm human. It happens. But yeah. So that was the only issue, it seemed. Everybody, all the rest, everything seemed to be good. It was just those 2 teams that everybody had an issue with. So, I guess we'll see after this next power ranking. We'll see if we'll see if anybody else has more issues with teams in certain spots. But hopefully you guys have a great evening. And again, I am off work now basically until the end of the end of the year at least. And yeah, there'll be one day next week where I will have some work stuff. I will have some playoff stuff to go drop off. But then after that, I'm off until the 8th. And that weekend of January, 6th or whatever, you'll be seeing the power ranking video you'll be seeing from a hotel in Des Moines, Iowa, because we have the kid, she has her traveling gymnastics competition in Des Moines, Iowa, and so we will be there. So you will see my power ranking you'll be seeing my power ranking on a little board. This, of course, was the power rankings I kind of put together. So you'll be seeing the rankings probably done on a board like this, because I'm not bringing this big honking thing. So you'll see it done. You'll see the power rankings on a board like this. I will have this probably set up against something, and I will have I'll have my little tripod here where the phone is, and yeah, I'll probably bring these magnets, these ones in particular. I might bring along either that, or I could decide to bring along the ones on here. Which actually, maybe I might do those. That one's actually might not be so bad if I did them on here. But yeah, so you'll see those power rankings from a hotel room in Iowa, and so yeah, that should be interesting. And yeah, so we'll see what the power rankings for this weekend have to say, and we'll see if there's any other issues that people might have. But the interesting thing is, though, if people having issues with certain rankings, you know what? That's not exactly a bad thing. Get people talking. gets people talking, gets the comments section going, and it draws engagement, which is good. And so I figured I'd just come on here and talk a little bit about that, and we'll see what the power rankings hold for week 11 here this week. So hope you guys have a good time, and I will try to be on here at least a couple more times between here and Christmas, and yeah, so hopefully you guys have a good Christmas and a happy New Year, and yeah, so if you like this video, hit that like button. If you really like the video, hit that subscribe button. It would be greatly appreciated, and yeah, so we'll see what power rankings have to hold, and yeah, I'm still kind of putting together my little playlist for the my favorite series from dating back from 1980 all the way up until this past year, which is interesting. There's a couple of years out of this that well, there's more than one that I could do. I'm trying to narrow it down to one, but there's a couple of them that they had some good series. They had multiple good series in a couple of these years. So it's trying to figure out what one to do. And I did find a few that upsets, blown leads should be interesting. But yeah, I'm still putting those all together. I'm trying to figure out what series is to do, and trying to get a lot of the team magnets, have a little smaller magnets to follow each game as each series goes along, and yeah, so that will be fun to do when I'm able to start putting that together, and yeah, so I mean I've got some big magnets made up already for those series. I've got more that I'm doing, and I'm doing some smaller ones. I'm trying to do 7 for each team, smaller magnets, because a lot of these series that I'll be doing go 7 games. So stay tuned for those. When those start, I look forward to when I'm able to actually start that up. And yeah, so again, hopefully you guys have a great Christmas and a great New Year. And again, hopefully you'll be seeing me. You'll be seeing me a few more times, hopefully, between now and Christmas. And so yeah, check out the channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and again, it would be greatly appreciated. And keep the comments coming. Load up the comment section. We like the engagement. It helps the algorithm. It lets YouTube know that hey, his videos got some engagement on it. So and yes, will I probably screw up will I probably put a team behind another team that probably should be ahead of a team? Yeah, I'll probably end up doing that again sometime at some point. It won't surprise me, because I'm human. So let me know what you guys think. Keep the comments keep the comments coming. Keeps that engagement up. And yeah, hit like and subscribe. I will see you guys later.